So ask me how many decks I've built in my lifetime.
How many decks have you built in your lifetime, Dad? 0. This will serve as our guide to help us get things level. And will serve as the actual deck itself, too.
The added bonus.
Hey there, yo folks, I'm Sean the Modern Yeoman, and it looks like it's shaping up to be a pretty busy day today. I'm not sure if you remember a few episodes ago, I helped my dad pull that nasty old deck out from the back of their house. Well, today, I think we're going to get started in trying to replace that deck, and I believe there's going to be a lot of dirt involved. I'm going to head over there in a second, but first I wanted to show you some cool things. Banana peppers. At least I think these are banana peppers. You saw these in the opening. These things just popped up, just kind of appeared one morning a couple of days ago, and I was very surprised to see them, how quickly they've been growing. And it's not just these guys. Bell peppers too. Quite a few of them. I also put some edging around the squash area, the squarea / pumpkin patch over here. As you can see, I took some cedar branches that we had cut down, just some kind of spindly logs, and used these as edging for the squarea / pumpkin patch. I started throwing some mulch in there, but we actually let somebody borrow the wheelbarrow, so I don't have the wheelbarrow to finish the job, but I think we're going to finish filling this out with mulch once we get rid of some of these weeds. But it's going to look nice as kind of a side accompaniment to the barrier on the other side. Also, a lot of people gave me some really good advice regarding Vertigo and some of the things that they've done to help cure it and help manage it. So thank you for that. The Vertigo today is feeling quite a bit better than it was a few days ago. And when I filmed my last episode, I'd say I'm at least 60 or 70% better from doing all these exercises. And hopefully I'm at the tail end of this particular Vertigo episode. Anyways, I think I hear my dad pulling up into his driveway. So let's go over there and see what's going on. So what's with all the dirt, Dad? What does this have to do with building a deck?
Well, after we pulled the old ratty roached out deck up and out and got rid of all, you see it in a previous episode.
Yeah.
Got rid of all the beer cans and everything. It became pretty apparent that there's not a favorable slope
it goes
up
down
against the foundation.
The crawl space.
Right. Yeah. So I just want to mitigate some of that by throwing some. This is just real cheap fill dirt. Don't need anything special. So just kind of raise that slope a little bit for even with the new deck going in there, obviously water, rain is still going to seep through. So I don't want it ponding up against the foundation.
So basically, while we have this exposed, let's fix the grading a little bit while we're down here and we've got this open.
Yes.
All right, well, let me help you out. Maybe we can knock this out in an hour or so.
Yeah, we'll get it done.
I don't know if you guys can pick this up via video screen, but this little area looks a lot better than it did. Initially, we had the earth kind of sloping in towards the foundation, the crawl space, but now it's definitely sloping away from it. Well, that was easy, Dad.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad at all. What's next?
Well, we'll finish just kind of leveling this off. And by level, I mean kind of a incline away from the house.
Yeah.
And then I think the next step will be to build the actual kind of rectangular frame.
Okay. And so we're just going to use that as kind of a guide to help us get things level and know where to put the concrete blocks.
Yeah, these concrete blocks that we're going to put in to hold things up, because this is not an attached, it's a floating deck.
Yeah.
Actually, by regulation, from what I've read, you're not even really supposed to have an attached deck to a mobile home. It's actually a little bit easier to construct a detached floating deck.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing.
We'll use these concrete blocks to hold things up, because this ground just gets super hard. It's not soft earth.
No.
Not terribly concerned. Yeah, about things settling a whole lot. I will put, once we get the bricks positioned, I did buy some paver sand just to kind of help keep things in place.
Okay.
So that'll be the next job, is to build that frame, line up exactly where we want these bricks to go.
And then we can go from there and making sure that the ground portion is done and ready to go.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
Which will include putting the landscape fabric down and the gravel on top of that.
Sounds good.
Yep.
This will serve as our guide to help us get things level, and will serve as the actual deck itself too.
The added bonus. So ask me how many decks I've built in my lifetime.
How many decks have you built in your lifetime, Dad? 0.
So
this is
all about the learning curve.
okay. Well, so far it looks good. I think we made pretty short work of it today.
Yeah.
So your next step is you're going to fill in this little skirting out the outer edge with
Right, some little support braces.
some little support braces to go in between those two boards.
Yeah, I think that'll be helpful. And then once that's done, you and I can lift this monster over to where it's going to go. Position these little cinder blocks appropriately wherever they will rest. And then we'll work on leveling it out. And once we got that kind of figured out, I'll lay the landscape fabric down and the gravel on top of that. And then
It's just a matter of putting the joists
we'll put
in.
the joists in. Once that's done, I'll run to the store and get the actual kind of
Lumber.
lengthwise
2x4s.
decking. That's
Is
not
it
quite
2x4s or is it
No,
its own
it's
thing?
They actually call it 5/4, which is a weird way of saying 1 1/4.
That'll be easy. That's just a matter of
Just
nailing
screwing
them in
those
or
puppies
screwing them
in.
Okay.
Yep, and then I think I've got enough of the deck stain that I used out front to stain this.
So this will be red as well.
Yeah, Mom and I talked about it, and I think just kind of matching the color.
It'll look good. It'll look really good.
It'll be quite an improvement over
Yeah.
what we had.
Well, it turns out the process of building this deck hasn't been nearly as hard as I thought it would be. In fact, I feel like we spent more time measuring things than we have actually putting the thing together. Now, can we keep going and keep this up without making mistakes? I guess we'll see. Fingers crossed for that. In the meantime, I think I hear the dinner bell, or the lunch bell, so I'm gonna go grab some food. And until next time, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. And remember, as always, slowly, slowly.